Anti-Muslim bigot Donald Cowboy Cerrone has announced his intentions to return to the UFC. And I know that sounds crazy. That's a crazy opening. But there was a clip that surfaced 6 months ago of Donald Cowboy Cerrone bragging about hating Muslims, bragging about his buddy, Mr. Stolen Valor, Tim Kennedy, hating fighters because they're Muslim and because they're from other countries. But Donald Cowboy Cerrone has a long past of being a racist, of being a homophobe, of being xenophobic, of allegedly saying racial slurs as well. And the UFC is just willing to welcome him back with open arms, which doesn't surprise me at all, in the least bit, to be quite honest. But forget about all that. You know, we got a lot to unpack. We're going to check out a bunch of different clips. But on top of all that, you have a 41-year-old man who's been inactive for 2 years on a steroid vacation, as Jim Miller called it, which we're going to look at that clip as well. He's winless in his last 7, hasn't won a fight in over 6 years. He's been winless since May of 2019, and now he takes a retirement, uses a bunch of PEDs, admittedly, which we're going to look at in this video as well, him openly admitting it on camera, and then we're going to have him return to the UFC at 41 years old. That is absolutely insane. But let's jump right into this because we have a lot to unpack. This dude's a scumbag, and no one else is going to cover it, so I figured, why not? And let me start off by saying this. If you're one of these people who hate when somebody calls out someone for being discriminatory against people of certain religions or certain races or whatever it may be, and you're so offended, unsubscribe. I don't care. We don't need you here. Anyway, let's start off with this. His last win is May of 2019 against Al Iaquinta. How insane is that? After that, got destroyed by Tony Ferguson. After that, got destroyed by Justin Gaethje and finished. After that, got destroyed by Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor invented shoulder strikes against him. Then he lost to Anthony Pettis. No contest against Nico Price. I think Nico Price got a point deducted for something. Otherwise, Nico Price would have won this fight. Then he grapples. He beats Rafael Dos Anjos in a grappling match. Loses to Alex Morono, gets stopped by Alex Morono, loses 2 more grappling matches, and then finally loses to Jim Miller in 2022 and finally retires, winless in his last 7 and being finished in 5 of them. So anyway, he's now officially returning, which is straight up insane. Donald Cerrone targets summer UFC return after re-entering drug testing pool. And if you don't believe that, you look up the UFC drug testing pool. You go to UFCantidoping.com/test. 2024, Donald Cerrone 1 test session. So this guy is officially in the testing pool, which is a start. But at the end of the day, I mean, how despicable is it? You can literally fake a retirement, take PEDs, take steroids, and then all of a sudden, okay, I'm good to go. Let me be in the testing pool for a little bit. All those gains that I, earned over the last 2 years, doesn't matter because I'm clean now. Which who knows if he's going to end up testing positive, but the UFC would probably bury this because the UFC drug testing program, and this is a topic for a whole nother video, is completely in-house. It is completely in-house, okay? There's no independent factor at all. They hired the guy that runs the UFC drug testing program. It is 100% in-house. So that's a whole topic for a whole nother video, but he is returning. The UFC has tested him, and he's a UFC Hall of Famer. But it's insane that they're going to welcome this guy back at 41 years old. And here's the clip. I pulled the clip of him on a podcast. He was on I don't even know what this is called. This is the Bet Online AG. But I think it's something about like Pac-Man Jones podcast. I think this is a former NFL player, if I'm not mistaken. But this podcast, I watched about 2 minutes of it. I did not watch it in its entirety. I could not stomach that. This is one of the worst podcasts I've ever seen in my entire life. But let's listen to Donald Cowboy Cerrone being asked about his potential return. Listen to this.
Back in the octagon.
Yeah, so I just re-entered the testing pool, so I have to be 6 months clean.
Look, I think he was thinking about throwing out an N-word right there. It wouldn't shock me at all. When you're gonna hear from Aljamain Sterling, we're gonna look at an article from Bobby Green. Would not surprise me if he was ready to throw one of those out there right now. But yeah, he's gonna return.
So yeah, we probably June or July we'll make the comeback. Coming back for 2 more, just 2 more. I want 50 fights at the UFC. So I promised the wife, no matter what happens, no matter the outcome, 2 more, and that's it.
So he's returning for 2 more, allegedly. We know that's never how it works. He retired in 2022. MMA retirements never last. He's returning after abusing PEDs and steroids. And if you don't believe me, you know who we can take their word for it? How about Donald Cowboy Cerrone? Listen to this. What have you been up to, Donald Cowboy Cerrone? Oh, I just been using steroids left and right. Listen to this.
How's retirement been? What have you been up to? You're looking a little bit bigger than the last time we saw you.
Yeah, man, I got my hair done, so the hair's growing in. Got on steroids, so I couldn't come back if I wanted to right now. I feel good, man. I'm healthy.
So got on steroids, couldn't come back if I wanted to right now. So this guy is abusing PEDs, took a PED vacation, and is now going to return that he feels great now. I feel jacked. I feel strong. I'm healed up. Now I'm going to return. I'll test for a little bit. I'll return, and hopefully I can win with some of those advantages I gained from PEDs. And this isn't, again, this isn't even the brink, the tip of the iceberg just yet, okay? The clip in the interview from 6 months ago where he's just bragging, literally bragging about hating Muslims is insane to the point I don't think they ever released the full interview. I could never find the full interview, but luckily I saved it. We can take a look at it in a little bit. Next clip I want to show you. This is from his official YouTube channel, okay? This is from 2023, and this is literally a 2-minute ad for using PEDs and having PEDs delivered to your door. I'm just going to listen to some of it. Listen to this. This is the very, very beginning. I'm at 000. Okay, this is the beginning of the video.
So after the UFC, I said, I'm coming back, Swole Nation. So you can buy TRT and testosterone replacement, Walmart, pretty much anywhere nowadays, online, but you don't know what you're getting.
You don't know what you're getting. So what can you do? Let me advertise this company that you can order it to your door. You can order, he's literally advertising PED delivery services.
And you don't know the correct amount to take. The guy at the gym and the guy standing behind Walmart, yeah, they can sell you pretty much anything nowadays, but getting the right stuff to the levels to meet your goals, you need a professional.
I mean, do we need to watch anymore? That's only 30 seconds. This is a 2-minute ad of him advertising a company that can deliver PEDs to your door. Okay. Next clip we're going to take a look at. This is Jim Miller talking about. He's asked about, this was, a couple months ago or a month ago, was asked about the return of Donald Cowboy Cerrone, the guy who has not won a fight since early 2019. The guy who's winless in his last 7 and has been finished in 5 of those 7, who is 41 years old. Okay. What does Jim Miller think about it? Let's listen. Jim Miller's the last guy that fought Donald Cowboy Cerrone and beat him up and finished him.
If they want him to get punched in the head again, then hey, do your thing, right? So, I'm not a very big fan of the whole like steroid vacation thing.
I'm not a very big fan of the steroid vacation. We're going to play that one more time because it's crazy that this loophole was basically even available. This is exactly what Conor McGregor did as well.
I'm not a very big fan of the whole like steroid vacation thing. Like what are we doing?
So there you have it. You retire so you can get out of the drug testing pool. You inject yourself with PEDs and then you return still having the benefits of the steroid abuse you did while you were in quote unquote retirement. Okay. So Jim Miller calls it out there. Now let's move on to some of the other things because this has been going on for years with Cowboy Cerrone. There's always some type of allegation about Cowboy Cerrone, and to steal a line from Dan Hooker, where there's smoke, there's fire. When multiple people allege something and these people aren't even connected and they're saying similar things about the same guy, and they're not just saying they heard, I heard through the grapevine this or that. They're saying I witnessed this, I experienced this. It's most likely true. And here's Aljamain Sterling. You can see how young he was at this point. This was a while ago. Saying, look, Donald Cowboy Cerrone called me the N-word, essentially. Listen, you can make the judgment for yourself, but that's what I took from this, and that's what everyone took from it at the time.
Talk about it. I don't know Donald Cerrone.
Yeah.
Donald Cerrone came up to me. He was drinking. He made a comment about my chain. Okay, haha, cool. I understand the chain's not real. It's a joke. It's the persona. It's my character is the Funk Master. Okay, I get it. So we go to the bathroom. He makes another comment.
Oh. And
he actually says something inappropriate. And for me, I wasn't going to just let him slide and just say that. Because, one, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know what he was talking about there, but there's more.
One of my boys from my town, you ain't gonna say no words like that and talk to me like that and make me feel a little uncomfortable. And see, if I get it, if his boys, he talks to his boys like that, that's cool. But we're not boys. So for you to come out of your face and say something like that, it's kind of weird for you to feel that comfortable with somebody who you've never actually hung out with, never actually even had a conversation with or anything. So I felt a little uncomfortable that he felt that was okay. So I called him out on it. And later throughout the night, it just kept getting heated. And then one of his boys, I called him out on it. I was like, you allow him to talk like that around you? And he was just kind of like, oh, man, man. And I was just like, all right.
So anyway, there you have Aljamain Sterling saying Cowboy Cerrone was calling him the N-word, okay? I mean, people could say, Joey, that's not what he was saying. That's what he was saying. He was saying Cowboy was saying this. I wasn't comfortable with it because I don't know him. Why is he calling me that? And, I called him out on it. This was a while ago. Fair enough. We're gonna look at some more recent examples. But also, this was a while ago, we're going to check out what Bobby Green had to say. He just said some racist stuff, Green said. He said stuff like random racist stuff like, quote, we got to check him. We got to check him. Black people like to steal. I'm like, what the? And I'm getting hot in front of thousands of people. All these people are here for the signing, and they're going, oh. And then, so he's saying racist stuff to Bobby Green. There was more to this. I tried to find the original MMA Hour where he said all this. Could not find it. It was deleted, it seemed. I searched for like 30 minutes trying to find it. It seems it was deleted. But also, he said this. He was out groping every woman in his line to do his signing, Green said. He was groping these women. They got husbands. They got fiancés. They got boyfriends. I'm like, that's messed up, man. Just because this guy's a nerd and he can't do anything to you, you're going to do this to him. Anyway, it goes on a little bit more. You know what's funny? I can actually give some firsthand knowledge to this. This didn't happen to me. Okay, I was there with my girlfriend at the time. I was at this event. I actually met Donald Cowboy Cerrone at this event. And when I saw him, he was already a bit drunk. So I actually have no doubt that he was probably doing this, okay, because he was drunk there. So Bobby Green calling him out for saying racist stuff, calling him out for groping women would not shock me at all because he was there drunk. Next thing we're going to take a look at, and we're just going through this rapid fire. I don't want to make this a 40-minute video, but right here, you have Donald Cowboy Cerrone calling Daniel Cormier a homophobic slur. And I know people are going to say, Joey, why are you so soft? We'll get to that in a second. Let's listen to this.
Boy, DC, I saw terrible. What? Terrible. What? How are you going to give up weight and then fight like a fag, man? Wait a second.
So again, we'll play it one more time for you boys. He's talking about it. I forgot what fight he was talking about. This was a while ago as well, but listen to this.
Terrible. What? How are you going to give up weight and then fight like a fag, man? Wait a second.
And then we'll listen to a little bit of Cormier.
Has he lost his mind? I mean, what is this guy talking about? Donald Cerrone? Who made you the person? Like, on what ground does he stand on to be able to say something like that to someone like me? He can tell me stuff. If he had a problem with the way that I performed, he could have told me in the back that day, DC, that wasn't a very good fight, man. I didn't like it.
And it's crazy because DC could make Cowboy his bitch. Could make him his bitch. But instead, Cowboy Cerrone has to, he's so big and bad. He's gotta call DC a homophobic slur. And what bothers me about this, I'm not really offended by any of this. I think these people deserve to be called out. But what bothers me is people champion and cheerlead this type of behavior. Like, they said a homophobic slur. Oh my God, yes, I love them so much. Like, it's so completely and utterly bizarre to me. I mean, think about Manel Kape. Manel Kape has never beat an elite level fighter. He's a pullout merchant. He pulled out more in 2024, in the first quarter of 2024. I think he pulled out the same amount of times Khamzat Chimaev has in his entire career. He has been busted for PEDs. So you got all those things combined, and somehow he has some type of fan base at flyweight just because of the fact that he said a homophobic slur on the mic. Oh my God, it's so badass. He's such a badass. And Cowboy Cerrone, all these things may have been a while ago, but Donald Cerrone has kind of been out of the limelight a bit. But about 6 months ago, he did some type of interview. I don't know what interview this was. This clip was originally posted by MMA Mania. They never posted the entire interview, so I could not find that. But this is the worst thing, okay? He goes on camera. Matt, I literally can't even fathom this. He goes on camera to brag about hating Muslim fighters and hating fighters from other countries. He's bragging about his boy Tim Kennedy taking, doing malicious stuff to them just because they are Muslim or because they are from other countries, and literally says, I hate them. I hate them, Tim.
A lot. My favorite thing about Tim Kennedy is he's like as American as apple pie. So we're at Jackson's and any of the Russian Muslim fighters would come in. Oh, Timmy would take it upon himself to just take down, smother, and absolutely destroy these dudes. And they were always bigger than I. They're the smaller. I don't know if ISIS cleared them yet or if the United States cleared them to come over into America just yet.
So old Timmy boy would do horrible things to fighters just because they are Muslim and because they are from other countries. And believe me, there's more to this clip. It gets worse. It gets worse. He doesn't just stop there. Imagine bragging about. That's what's so crazy. I've said this before with other things that have come out, not about Cowboy Cerrone, but just in general. If these are the types of things they're saying in front of cameras, what is he saying behind closed doors? I would love to know. But let's continue on with this clip.
I'm not real sure on that, but they weren't here. But I'd be sitting over like, yeah, get him, Tim. I got a video controller. He would just annihilate him, and I loved it. And he would smile and laugh and just rub their face in the metal. Like, I could just do malicious shit. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Tim. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, get them, they're Muslim. Get them, they're Muslim. Freedom of speech, brother. Freedom of speech.
And then you come back and be like, fucking, I hate him. I'm like, yeah, me too. I hate him, but there's nothing I can do. I'm 155 pounds. That dude's 200 pounds. And you just destroyed him.
Think about that. Think about the ending to that clip. Think about how insane this is to be doing a sit-down on-camera interview and say something like this. And he's bragging.
Fucking, I hate him. I'm like, yeah, me too. I hate him, but there's nothing I can do. I'm 155 pounds. That dude's 200 pounds. And you just destroyed him.
You know what we need to do? We need to book Donald Cowboy Cerrone's return in 2025 against an undefeated Muslim prospect. And we need to show him this video beforehand. Because this is just despicable behavior. Imagine talking like this. Imagine singling someone out at your gym where you're supposed to have some type of borderline friendships. And I understand, okay, maybe somebody just started, but you're going to go out of your way to, don't take my word for it, but take Donald Cowboy Cerrone's word for it. Do malicious stuff. Let's listen one more time.
On that, but they weren't here. But I'd be sitting over like, yeah, get him, Tim. I got a video controller. He would just annihilate him, and I loved it. And he would smile and laugh and just rub their face in the metal. Like, I could just do malicious shit. And I'm like, fuck yeah, Tim. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. That line really bothered me. I want to jump through the screen right there. That's what I'm talking about, Tim. By the way, Tim Kennedy, I have to do more research. I may do an entire video on this. Tim Kennedy, I knew this for years. I could smell it on Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy is a Army veteran who's been bragging and embellishing stories and lying about medals for stolen valor. And he was recently exposed badly. I might make a dedicated video on that. But that's the guy he's bragging about. He's bragging about Tim Kennedy hating people because they're Muslim, hating people because they're from other countries, and doing malicious stuff to them. And Donald Cowboy Cerrone couldn't dare do that because he was too small. He couldn't bully. I know there's going to be comments on this video saying, Joey, you're so soft. You're such a beta soy boy. You're so this and that. Imagine bragging about physically bullying people and doing malicious things to them because of their religion. That is completely and utterly insane to even do, let alone go on camera and brag about it. By the way, this clip may be hard to find. I will link the unlisted clip down in the description if anyone wants to check it out. I'll list all the videos that I used in this video down in the description as well, because nobody's going to talk about this. Nobody else is going to talk about it. MMA content creators, media, they're going to be too worried. Oh no, the fans are going to get behind Cowboy. They're going to hate me for pointing this out. I'm just pointing this out. Disgusting behavior, despicable behavior, steroid abuser, racist, homophobe, Islamophobe, xenophobic, bully. I mean, is there any other things I need to add to that? Bigot, just Bigot overall. You could just say, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, the Bigot, welcome back to the UFC with open arms. That'll probably be the title for this video. That'll really get people up in arms. But I figured I'd call this out because nobody else will. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.